Hello, Avakinians. So this is Ariana Grazia, and I am bringing you my first decent Avakin edit tutorial, which is exceedingly helpful for new editors out there and for those editors who want to improve. So as you can see, I am doing the basic, which is attaching the photo on the canvas, blank canvas, and I am using the application Ibis Paint. And here, before editing the photo, I am erasing the edges to make the photo look smoother and have better results later. So what I am going to show you all today is a simple Avakin enhanced photo, but I will make certain that it would be more detailed than the simple Avakin enhanced photo. As you can see, I am adding a lot of layers because it will be essential to the edit to not waste the layers and don't get confused with all the stuff that you're putting in the edit that you're doing. As you can see, I downloaded a color palette on Pinterest, or you can download as well on Google or any website that you can search in color palettes. To be careful with the skin palette that you're using for the edit, because it's indeed essential for the edit to make it look realistic. Here I am using the airbrush normal. It is my favorite brush on the application since it looks smooth and it's very flexible and versatile. Like, you can use this brush in almost everything, almost every parts of the body of the Avakin that you wanted to edit. So just a little disclaimer, not everyone edits like this. So this is my own style of editing, from watching various videos, from seeking help from friends who edit as well. So I hope that you learn a lot from this video. As you can see, so far I am doing the collarbone, and earlier I was using the airbrush as well because I told you it's exceedingly useful and beneficial to the edit. There are times that you can literally use airbrush in every parts that you want to edit, but of course we wanted to make the edit look better. So it's time for highlight. So I changed the normal layer, the fifth normal layer, to the add layer, wherein you could do highlights for the skin and choose a lighter colorway from the color palette and brush it on the skin, and you can actually blur it out in order for it to get smoother because it's too strong. As you can see, I am using airbrush normal again on the collarbones and the add layer to make it pop, have the extra highlight that you want to see in your edit later. And the next step is exceedingly important. I use this every time. Select the highest layer above, which is the selection layer. Apologies for the advertisement since I did not purchase yet the Ibis Paint Pro, so please bear with me. So before the advertisement, we did click the selection layer above, so we will draw their lines, and we have to expand it and draw on the whole face because it will be essential for the process later. We are doing this because we are gaining like a magic wand effect, wherein when we draw on new layers, it wouldn't get messy because the lines or the brushes will stay on that path, on that place wherein you draw the lines from the selection layer. As you can see, we can do contours and make a flawlessly because we did the selection layer technique earlier. The next procedure is how I do the nose. So I use the airbrush, a darker color of course, and just see what I do for the nose. Creating the nose in every Avakin edit is exceedingly crucial because it might look like asymmetrical, and we wouldn't want that. We want it to look proportional to the Avakin's face and make it look realistic. This is how I do my nose. It looks a little intense, but I like the results. I fill in the gaps. And of course, it would not be complete without the highlight, so I selected the add layer and put a lighter shade of the color and dab it on the nose and blur it a little bit. Since I love using airbrush a lot, I am using airbrush as well for the lips, and later we would highlight it as well. Here is the next step. We are going to do the eyes. So in the eyes, I use different brushes. So for the white part of the eye, we are actually using the dip pen soft and turn on the force fade on the icon on the upper right. wanted the eye to look realistic, so what I'm going to do is select a dark shade from the color palette that I downloaded and brush it on the white part of the eye. For the iris of the eye, I actually use the felt tip pen soft because it makes a perfect circle, so you don't have to brush again all over. And for the pupils, I use the same brush, of course, since it creates a perfect circle. As you can see in here, I am creating a new add layer beneath the pupils because we would like to add highlights on the iris of the eyes. I am using the brush here, of course, with the force fade turned on as well, and brush it on the iris just like that. And now I went to the another add layer and used the brush pen fade to add more highlights to the iris to make it look better. And for the final highlight of the eye, I used the brush dip pen soft in the shade white on the add layer again. And to make the eyes look better for the shadow, I used again the airbrush normal with the shade black. For the under eye part, I wanted to use the highlights again, so I'm adding another layer for the add and use the airbrush normal in the lighter shade of the skin, just like that. And underneath the add layer, I used the airbrush normal again, but in the shade darker from the actual skin tone so that it would look realistic. And for the eyelashes, I always use the round brush curve with the force fade still turned on. I actually learned this from a friend from Kiss. Thank you so much. And above the lip, I wanted it to look realistic as well, so I'm still using the airbrush normal in the darker shade. And for the fun part, we are now making the dress. So what I am usually doing is I am searching any image from the Google. Since I wanted a purple dress, I searched purple glitter background since I wanted to add that to the dress to make it pop, make it look better. But if you want, you can create your own design as well. As you can see, I am using again the selection layer. I am located on the highest layer above so that if we pasted the design from the internet, it would actually look good, look better. You don't have to erase the edges. And just like that, you have the dress, but of course we wanted to enhance it to make it look good, not just like that, looks like a drawing, but we wanted it to have dimensions. So we are going to shade again the airbrush normal in a darker color. So this is my most favorite part, creating the hair. So the brushes that I use for the hair is, of course, for the base, round brush reel. Actually, if you're having difficulties in creating the hair, you can watch other hair tutorials on how to create hair on Ibis Paint so that you wouldn't be confused in this step. I actually have a tutorial on how to create hair on my YouTube channel, so I would post the link on the description box. So I am just filling in everything, filling the gaps, and of course if you wanted to erase the edges, the messy edges, you can always reduce the opacity of the photo and erase the messy edges. To make the hair base look better, you can use again the round brush reel to make extra strands for the hair to look prettier. So the next part would be the highlights. So this is a little fast because this was the time lapse. So I used the brush pen fade lighter shade, round brush point, and the hair highlights brush. The motion was from top to bottom so you wouldn't be confused on creating the hair, and that's it.